sometimes you get good receptions and sometimes you don't. I've been in parades following the horses running for president, and I can say in Wyoming, we've just had this wonderful reception. Thank you very much for doing this. I really appreciate it. This is a long trail in a big country, and you really have greeted us well. Even the antelope greeted us, trying to jump into our pickup as we were coming across. I can't believe how many you have. There are a lot of those guys out there. I guess there are going to be 2 less tomorrow. Duncan and his wife are going hunting, so they'll make it back to California that way. It's a great pleasure to be here. I bring you greetings from Mike Enzi, my colleague in the United States Senate. He is one of 3 members in the United States Senate of the Never President Caucus. He's pledged never to run for president ever in his life. And there's only 3 people in the United States Senate that have taken that pledge. He was saying, you know, it's a pretty narrow group here in the Senate that doesn't wake up in the morning and go, I think I see a president there in the mirror, or something like that. He's been great. And you're my new colleague, Dr. Barrasso. I've already seen him in the hallway examining other colleagues, other senators. Yeah, some of this is funny. John Warner is retiring from the U.S. Senate from Virginia. He's 80 years old, and I was walking over to vote, and Warner was saying, my knee is really catching it, and Dr. Barrasso was bending down, like, well, let me look here. And, you don't normally think you're going to see that in the United States Senate, but we did. And of course, Craig Thomas was just a wonderful man to serve with, and I got to spend my prayers, and she is, and the whole family is, and I really thought he was out of the woods. I thought, when he was coming back, and you know, his hair was growing back, and he was looking good, I thought he was moving on forward, but it's just a tough episode. And then Barbara Cuban, I don't know if Barbara's here this morning. I guess she didn't make it. We came into the house together. I came in '94, the Revolution, with Barbara, and she's been a firecracker ever since. Just does a great job. It's been a pleasure to serve with her. And then my sister is here. I want you to just meet her real quick. Mary, I wanted her to come in the front, but she's way back in the back. She's over in Utah, came over, and she's the biggest hunter in our family. She's killed 4 elk and a moose with a gun, not a car, and shot them. She gutted them herself, and then cooked up the meat, feeding the family on through the years. So she's been the big hunter in the family, and I'm just happy to have her along with us. Just tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up on a farm. We grew up on a farm in eastern Kansas. My mom and dad still farm. My brother farms with my parents there. It was a family farm operation. We were a mile and a half out of town. Parker, Kansas was the town, 250 people. Most states I go to, that's a small town. Mike Enzi tells me, well, that's about average. I think he's pulling my leg a little bit. It was a great growing up that we had on that farm. It was a community. We farmed with my granddad. My other grandparents lived 12 miles away. We were on a party line telephone. If any of you remember those things, we had 8 families on our party line telephone. There were no secrets in Parker, Kansas. Little ways for me to get in trouble. Now in my family, my wife and I have been married 25 years. We have 5 children. We have 8 telephones in our family. Now it's a different ramification, different scene. I wanted to go home and farm. I went to K-State undergraduate in agriculture. Went to law school at the University of Kansas. Wanted to come home and farm. And I want to confess this, I am a recovering lawyer. I confess it. I'm getting over it. My granddad nearly didn't talk to me for years. He just didn't have much use for lawyers. There may be people here that are in a similar situation. I wanted to go back to the farm, and Dad thought, I don't know that this is going to work for you coming back here. I mean, we don't have enough land for you to go in. My younger brother had already started farming. My dad, he said, but okay, you practice law. Why don't you be an auctioneer? And we'll have you be an auctioneer, and then you can do that along with farming and lawyer. Maybe all of it together we'll be able to get things done. So I went to auctioneering school, and that's a 2-week intensive training program to become a professional auctioneer. And it's a series of poems. I did some of these last time, but they're really easy. I can teach you to be an auctioneer here this morning. You start off with rubber baby buggy bumpers. Okay, say that with me. Rubber baby buggy bumpers. You go to Tommy and Tatimus took 2 T's, tied to the top of 2 tall trees. Okay, you can do it, you can do it. Tommy and Tatimus took 2 T's, tied to the top of 2 tall trees. And then when you're just ready to go out and auctioneer, you do Betty bought her. And it's Betty bought her, bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. So she bought a bit of better butter, put it in her bitter batter, made her bitter batter better. So does better Betty bought her, bought a bit of better butter. You know, you guys do it. And then you get it into rhythm. You go, Betty bought her, bought some butter, but she said this butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. So she bought a bit of better butter, put it in her bitter batter, made her bitter batter better. So does better Betty bought her, bought a bit of better butter. And he sold. Needless to say, I never made it as an auctioneer, and I ended up Secretary of Agriculture in Kansas, and came in the Revolution in '94, and went in the Senate in '96, and ran for President of the United States on one sentence. I believe that we have to rebuild the family, renew the culture, revive the economy, so we can grow, we can prosper, and so we can sustain ourselves in this long-term battle we're in with militant Islamists. We are in a generation-long fight. We're going to be in this fight for probably as long as we faced off against communism. And I don't know if people have been talking that way to you, but it is what we are in. I chaired the Middle East Subcommittee in the Senate. I chaired the South Asian Subcommittee. I've worked on these issues. We are in this fight. We were in it prior to 9/11. 9/11 was the Pearl Harbor of it. We've been getting hit for 10 years prior to that. USS Cole, Khobar Towers, 2 embassies in Africa. Hit. World Trade Center the first time around, hit. And what did we do? Nothing. And then that's when they keep coming, and then 9/11. And that was the Pearl Harbor of it. And God bless George Bush for seeing the battle of his generation against, this fight against militant Islamists, this war on terrorism, and he took it on. He took it on with our troops. He took it on.